All right, we are live, guys. We are live. If you're just coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh! It's been a day. It's been a few days. But good news, guys. Very good news. We'll be casting this weekend. For those of you that don't know, or for those of you that already do know, we made it. Casting in the semifinals for NACT. Tonight, we're going to do some predictions. We're going to do some predictions tonight. So I'm hype about it. Anyone just coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, it's been a week. It's been a good week. We made it. Oh. Hey Jay, what's up, man? What's up? Let's share the stream real quick. All right. So when's NACT Grand Finals? The Grand Finals is going to be on the 14th. On the 14th in Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Techno Gaming, what's up, man? What's up? I really like this song. I don't know why, but I do. I don't know why, but it's a bop. It's really just a bop. Maybe I should brighten up my lights a little bit. That's a bit better. I'm a bit brighter now. What if I went like this? That's nice. Little reflective light. All right, I think we're good. I think I'm happy with that. All right, we need to share the stream. Meowba, Trex, and MSC. I don't think there's going to be any NA casters at MSC, sadly. Yeah. Our person got back to us recently. They were like, yeah, they don't think they're going to pick anyone from NA. It's all right. It's all right. No biggie. I wasn't really, like, expecting it. We're expensive, bro. They got to drop a lot of money to fly us out there. Like, just the plane ticket alone is probably close to what they pay a caster. So you got to think, we're almost like double the price of like what they want to pay for a caster to cast over there. Wait, what? I have a question. What's the partner name? And the Look Offline tour look nice? Even better than MPL ones? You're talking about for NACT? You're talking about for NACT, right? E-Stars? Do I think BTK can improve to the point where they can challenge OP? Do I think they can challenge Outplay in the playoffs? I think for the first time in like NACT history, we won't have a sweep in the grand finals. I'll say that much. I don't know if it's going to go to 7 games. Whoever ends up winning, who knows? I don't even know who exactly is going to make it to the grand. We're about to try to predict this, and I probably shouldn't, but it's content, you know. Because honestly, like before we even dive into anything tonight, just to make something clear, playoffs are unpredictable. Playoffs are unpredictable. A lot of teams put on their big boy pants. A lot of teams shit the bed. You know? Teams that we think are going to do amazing sometimes don't, and teams that we think aren't going to do amazing do, and sometimes teams do exactly how we expect them to do. I will say there's one team that we know is probably going to make it to grand finals, and that is Outplay. Other than that, I think it is in favor of BTK as long as they play correctly, as long as they play well. If they bring their A game, I definitely think they can put up a big fight. I even think they could possibly win. And if Ureshi, there's like talk about Ureshi not going to grand finals. If Ureshi doesn't go to grand finals, then there's like, I think there's an even higher percentage that Outplay could maybe with. Let's talk about the sub going. Reaper, Promise. I don't know if it's true or not. People were mentioning it in chat the other day. I know he's been waiting to get passport stuff figured out, so it just depends, I guess. But I'm just saying, if any team has to end up subbing, odds are they don't do that great. I'm not saying anything's... I don't know the exact details. You would have to ask Hoon. You would have to ask Outplay. And I'm sure they're not exactly releasing that information yet either. So I don't know. What I could be hearing is complete bullshit. All right. How do you guys like the setup? No one said anything. I added shelves. Ooh. The top lights are being weird. I can't get them to change, so I'm going to have to like either replace those or figure out what's wrong with them. I also need to put like some sort of strip over the LEDs to diffuse them so they're not so bright behind us, like you don't see each bulb. Yeah, it still needs a little bit of work. I'm going to get some more plants to kind of put throughout. And I have a shelf right here above this too, which is nice. I went in the other day. Instagram time. We got the shot. We got the shot. Echo jersey in the corner. Who do you guys think takes NA? Who do you guys think? How do you guys think Grand Finals goes for NA? Do you guys think it's a sweep? Do you guys think it's easy? What do we think? Do we want to do NA first? We do NA first. Do NA first. I think BTK gets 2 games and the rest is outplayed. That's a good grand finals. I'd be happy with that. With what I'm used to, a 4-2 series would be beautiful. A 4-2 series would be beautiful. 6 games would make me so happy. You know? 6 games would be awesome. Okay. Let's stop the music. Let's get serious. 6 games would be dope. It's 1 less than 7, and it's a best of 7, so that's like all we can really hope for, right? Before we go too hard, who does everyone? All right, who do you want to see in the grand finals? Who do you think is going to make it to the grand finals? What would be like your idea? What would be like awesome to see? And what do you think like? And if both are the same, that's cool too. What upsets do we think happen? I got a couple hot takes that I think could happen. I almost wish I could do a few different versions of this, which I guess I could take my time and do a few different versions. So basically what we're doing here is we're going to do a prediction. I'm recording now. We're going to do a prediction on the NACT playoffs. For those that don't know, only 4 out of the 8 teams make it. It's a little bit different than MPL. The 4 top scoring teams out of the regular NACT season, which is a split season, so every team plays every other team twice throughout the span of about 8 weeks. And now we come into the playoffs. The top 4 teams that made it to playoffs, the Ohio Brothers, the Empire, Bloodthirsty Kings, and Ackerman. Ohio Brothers took the number 1 slot. That's why they're on the top side. They go up against the number 4 slot, which is Empire, and the number 2 and 3 slot face against each other, which BTK got the number 2 slot. Ackerman got the number 3 slot. It's a double elimination bracket. Every single team has 2 lives, except for the team that goes all the way to the grand finals. If they lose in grand finals, then they are still out. Just like your typical MPL once again, right? Nothing too crazy about the playoffs bracket. The only big difference is that it's 4 instead of 6 teams. So I think game 1 is probably the easiest game in all of this to predict. I hate to put it like that, but I think game 1, Ohio Brothers versus the Empire, this is going to be an easy dub, I think, for the Ohio Brothers. They easily move on to the next round, right? Like, I don't think there's any question about that. Empire, on the other hand, will go down to the lower bracket. And all of these are going to be best of 5s. I would, if I had to put a score on this, I think maybe Empire gets a game. Maybe Empire gets a game. Maybe. Pika Pika, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Lauren Cervantes, but Trex, what if? We're going to do a couple what if scenarios in here. We're going to definitely do a couple what if scenarios, a couple possibilities, but I want to keep it pretty straightforward because I don't want to do, I mean, I guess I could do multiple videos, but I'll definitely give a lot of different opinions on like things that could possibly happen, things that might be interesting, etc., etc., etc. So Ohio Brothers most likely beat the Empire like 3-1. It could end up being a 3-0 sweep. Maybe the Empire stands a chance, but I'm not going to lie. I think the Empire is coming into this unless they straighten out a lot of issues they had, or a lot of things that I saw as issues that other people might not see, but I think it's going to be a problem in the playoffs, right? So, like, currently when we look at NACT and we look at BTK Ackerman and the Ohio Brothers, they are just kind of leagues above every other team on the top 8. The only teams that really gave them challenges, I feel like, were each other. And that's just the reality. I just think that's just the reality of it. Empire was a team that a lot of us doubted at first, didn't really have too much information on. We were iffy about them, and they made it to top 4. I got to give them that. And they made it to top 4 like doing some stuff that shouldn't really fly. Like swapping, Alex would swap over to the gold lane and Mikasa would jungle on like the Karina or something. And then whenever Alex was jungling, he would pick up like the Martiz jungle or something. We would see Mikasa a lot of time run like this Alice off lane or something of that nature that's not a marksman. I do not think that is going to fly in best of 5s. I think maybe they can pull it out once here and there, but I think against the Ohio brothers, BTK and Ackerman, it is not going to work. They lost to Lamy top just because they didn't pick up a marksman in the gold lane. And I think if they try to play like that in the playoffs, they're going to have a very quick exit. So yeah, I think TOB gets 3-0, maybe 3-1, but I think this first game is probably going to be a slaughter fest. It's just if they don't, I'd be super happy. And before we go any farther, I want to say, I know I use some very exaggerated words like Slaughterfest or this or that. I am not downplaying Empire at all. I don't think they're a bad team. And if any team that I'm saying is going to lose wins, it would make me that much more excited. If somehow the Empire pulls a rabbit out of a hat and gets a dub on the Ohio brothers first round, it would be like BTK beating Blacklist and M3. It would be phenomenal. It would be amazing. But I just don't think it's going to happen, right? The reality is most likely TLB sweeps the Empire in the first series, 3-0. Maybe Empire gets a game. All right. After that, BTK versus Ackerman. This is a hard game to predict. This is a hard game to predict, right? I think... I want to say that I think BTK ends up taking this one. I don't think it's going to be an easy take. I definitely think it's going to be 3-1, 3-2. But at the same time, that's what numbers would say, right? That's what statistics would say. But I think it's also very possible. I think it's very, very possible that either of these two teams could sweep the other team. I think if a team gets with these two teams, if one of them gets momentum, and I think this is going to be the story for a lot of these games. If a team gets momentum in game 1 and then takes game 2, I think it could be very downhill from there. I think it could very possibly very downhill from there. So I think game 1 is going to be very important in this series. From what I know, Ackerman is training a lot. They're looking good. My worry for BTK is if they are training enough. I hop into Zane's stream sometimes, and I see him say things like, man, I can't even get my 5-man running. I can't even get people to practice, da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm wondering if Ak is in the same boat or not. I think whoever's practicing more is going to win this. I think these two teams are pretty close in strength right now. But I do think BTK is going to come out on top of this one. Oh, no. Sorry, guys. All right. So then we get Ackerman. We'll lose, possibly. Again, these are just my normal predictions. Okay. Now here comes... this is where we're going to start messing around in the realm of things, right? This is where we're going to start playing around a little bit. I've got this hot take. I've got this possibility that would just be really cool. And I don't know if it's going to happen. I just think it could be exciting. It could be interesting, right? I've been wondering, I've been thinking this for a while, and sometimes I just get these like gut ideas, right? These ideas like, yo, what if fourth slot gets to third place? Because right now, I think everyone is thinking that it's going to be Ohio Brothers, BTK, Ackerman. It's one of those three teams, right? What if Empire beats Ackerman? I think it could be a possibility. I think if BTK went to the lower bracket, it could be a possibility. But for some reason, I feel a little bit more comfortable over Empire beating Ackerman in the lower bracket. I will say this, Nicolette is like known. I'll say this, Nicolette, when it comes down to crunch time, Nicolette puts her big girl pants on. I will tell you that much. So I do want to say that I feel like Ackerman will probably win this. I feel like Ackerman will probably win this. Just because I know, like, I've seen Nicolette in some weird, she's, like, I've seen, like, back in Team Sexy days, like, her and Best Player, like, I've seen them kind of have some faulty games, lose game one, and come back and just start, like, hammering. So I think it's definitely, I think it's definitely possible. I don't think it's going to be a 3-0. I think Empire, after losing their game against the Ohio Brothers, are also going to understand how real it is, and they're not going to go down to a sweep. I just don't think that's going to happen. But I really think it is possible for I really think it's possible that Empire could possibly get a win here. So there's a couple possibilities I could do on this bracket, and I want to, like, run it. I wish I could just sit here and, like, run a bunch of different ideas, but that wouldn't really be fair, right? Because then I'd just be defending myself and saying all the different things, and no one could ever talk trash about me and tell me how wrong my prediction is. But I do want to make this clear. I really think this could happen, right? I really do think this could happen. I just think it could for some reason. But for the cause of protecting myself against insane viewers, I'm just kidding. We're going to put Ackerman here. In the end, it doesn't really matter too much, right? Ackerman has came a long way this season. They came in very strong. We got Zia, Nicolette, Kush. I'm having a total mind blank right now. Zia, Nicolette, Kush. I'm having a total mind blank right now. Start.gg. Don't judge me, guys. Help me out. You fans know the players. Bro, how do I not remember these things? People are going to hate me, bro. People are like, what do you mean you don't remember? You've been casting them for the past blah, 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 blah. Galaxy. Promise. Nact. Anyways. Gala. Yeah, Galaxy. Nicolette, Kush, Zia, Galaxy, and what? Nact? Toinks. It's Toinks. They all, from what's their, see, that's another thing. Their names on my thing is different than what it is now. We're going to do the MPL PH playoffs here in a minute. Okay. Ackerman's definitely, I mean, they're a powerhouse. I almost wish that Nicolette and Best Players stayed together and kept Team Sexy going, but I'm very happy that Nicolette found a strong team to be a part of. I think Ackerman has a very big future ahead of themselves. I pray to the North American Challengers Tournament gods that they do not change their name and that this roster stays very, very similar as we move on to the future seasons. I hope that Zia, Nicolette, Kush, at least those three stay on this team, no matter how they end up finishing in this. As long as they can beat the Empire in the lower bracket, depending on how this goes, as long as they can secure third place, they will get a little bit of money in their pocket, and I think that is promising, right? As I've said, They've all done well. I think Zia, honestly, is the only player on this team that we know very well, and I feel like last year when he switched over to Gold Lane, did a decent job. Like in the NASL, even when he went up against big teams, he did a decent job. And this season, I feel like he hasn't really like wowed me this season. There hasn't been anything that's made me like, yo, Zia. It's been a little iffy this season for Zia. So I think it's going to be very important for him to do well. But as long as Kush and Nicolette can do what they do, I think they'll be able to do very well. Now, up to the upper game, it's TOB versus BTK. TOB versus BTK. Get your freaking clip tubers out, because we're about to get real controversial up in here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like this stream, click the subscribe button, all that good stuff. I really would appreciate it. Take a second to do that. I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I haven't seen that like button go up at all. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, there's one. We can stop drinking my tea now. The 4 teams will have the offline game. No, the 4 teams, only the final 2 will be offline. There's talk about next year maybe having the top 4 all offline. Who knows? I think even if they didn't do like a big show, even if they just like didn't have people over and just like got the teams out there, and then even then maybe have us cast like from separate areas or something, I don't know, like it could be good. Like just move them all closer to each other somehow. Okay, so TOB versus BTK. Oh, I feel like I don't want to talk too much about this match in particularly, because, spoiler alert, I think these 2 teams are going to be in the grand finals. I think this match, though, is going to be a possible preview, but I don't think it's going to be too much. I think BTK may end up losing this match here. I think that if BTK can win game 1, if BTK can just win a game in this first best of 5, they could possibly take the series. If they can win game 1, confidence goes up. Everybody's feeling themselves. And I think they're good. TLB's not going to troll against BTK. TLB doesn't troll against good teams. They don't. I don't want to say good teams. That's a bad word, because I'm saying that means I'm implying that other teams are bad teams. TLB never trolled against BTK, and they never trolled against Ackerman. I don't think they're going to. It's true. If there is lag issues, that is another thing. I will say this to all the lag things is in the past, tournaments have always heavily favored East server, and it's kind of weird because it like changes. Like a few months it'll be like all the East players have better ping, and then a few months all the West players will have better ping. In the past, East players have always had the better ping. So this is like the first time, like at least I'm meaning like tournament lobbies. Like in all past NACTs, East players has always had like the 30, 40 MS in lobbies, and West players are normally at like 50 to 70, right? So this is like the first season where we've had West with a bit more of an advantage on that sense, I would say, from what I'm hearing at least. Like, you would never see best player run Fanny last year. Never would happen. Never. Mobadang. So let's just say, if like I said, if BTK can win game 1, I think there is a possibility for them to like move up, right? Maybe win this. If they lose game 1, Ohio Brothers definitely take this. BTK maybe take a game at that point. I do think BTK end up losing this match. Okay. Okay. Ackerman versus BTK. We're gonna do some story time. We're gonna go back. We're gonna use some probabilities here, right? First week of round robin. I mean, first session of round robin in the NACT, guys. BTK starts off a little bit rough. They go against the strongest team in the season in the first week. They go against the Ohio Brothers and lose 2-0. It's a devastating hit. All of America is in shambles, and everyone feels like Mobazane isn't good any longer. Is that BTK is just an old folk tale that no one really cares, and the team is kind of garbage. That's where BTK is sitting after that dreadful Saturday, right? I still felt like, I mean, they went against the team that everyone lost against. We go into that Sunday, BTK wins 2-0. As the weeks prevail, we eventually get to see Ackerman versus BTK. Now, in the first session of round robins, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? I'm looking for it. Ackerman versus BTK. It's round 3. It's week 2, day 1. Ackerman beats BTK 2-1. So in the first 3 days of the NACT, BTK has lost twice now. But they do take a game off of Ackerman, and this is probably going to be this is an important thing to talk about, right? They take a game off of Ackerman, and it's not prime BTK. This is when BTK is still having a lot of hiccups, a lot of issues that we're seeing, a lot of problems, a lot of things, right? Now, as the weeks move on, Ackerman continues to do well. They take a loss to Lamy Top the next day. Ackerman beats Area 77 2-0. It's a notable win. BTK beats Lemmy Top 2-0, a little bit better than Ackerman did. Ackerman beats the Empire. BTK beats Fallout. They're sweeping people. They're beating people. And then we come into a very important game later on in the season. It's the second round robin, round 10. That would be week 5. It's Ackerman versus BTK again. BTK just took a big loss to TOB the week before, going 2-0. It's their second big loss to TOB. They almost get a win in game 1. Almost get a win in game 1. But they're not quite able to, right? So they come into the next game, into the next week, after beating Empire 2-0 to face up against Ackerman. Ackerman also took a bad loss to the Ohio Brothers the previous day, 2-0. And this is where we start to see Ackerman getting shaky throughout NACT, right? This is where we start to see them getting a little bit shaky. They go against BTK, and BTK dominates them. They 2-0 them. And Ackerman doesn't even almost take a game. They almost don't even take a game. So, if we look at just the past statistics, if Ackerman has not evolved, has not straightened themselves out by the playoffs, I think BTK has this. Could be 3-2, could end up being a 3-1, not going to lie. I think if Ackerman wins this, it is definitely a 3-2. If BTK wins this, it could go either way. I think game 1 is going to be very important. I think game 1 is going to be very important. But once again, right now, I feel like BTK is a team that really runs off of momentum. So if BTK wins game 1, it is going to be tougher and tougher for Ackerman to win. Because BTK is just going to scale, right? Ackerman, though, does do, Nicolette, some of these players, I think, do okay after taking a loss, so the possibilities are there as well. If Ackerman wins game 1, I still think they could shake and BTK could come back. In the end, though, I do think BTK will take this. I just do. I think BTK are going to end up winning this. So BTK over to the grand finals, up against the Ohio Brothers for the revenge match. For the revenge match, yo. For the revenge match. Whew. Tough. There's a lot of things to talk about with this match, with this grand finals match. First of all, it's epic as shit. First of all, this is probably going to be one of, if this is the match, it is probably one of the, it is the most hype match NACT Grand Finals has ever had. For so many different reasons. The main reason being, you have players, you have Moba Zane, the man who just went to M3 with 3 of the players from the Ohio brothers. So there is some electricity in the air. There is some tension on the shoulders of these players. There is some tension in the crowd when these guys walk out. That is just the reality. I am so, if these are the 2 teams that make it to grand finals, I am excited to see how they all react to each other. I want to know if they are still kind of friends, if there is some energy, and whether they are all buddy-buddy or not. When it comes game time, these guys are, everyone's going to be ready. Everyone's going to be ready. I want to talk about some advantages and disadvantages for both teams. I think when MS is low, things are going to get a little bit more interesting for the side of BTK. We have heard that they've had some big ping issues, things of that nature. So I think that could help them a little bit, right? It could do a little something for them. Somehow the colors of my lights keep changing. I don't really know how, but it's happening, right? Best of 7. It's a best of 7 in the grand finals. Every other match in the playoffs is a best of 5. Give me 1 second, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, pop the subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. We got 78 people watching. What's up, guys? God, that sweet tea's good. Okay. Some things about TOB here. I think what's important for BTK is they're going to need to definitely worry about the fanny here. Best player is going to be on the best MS he's ever played in his whole life. And he's going to be itching. Best player is going to be itching to play assassin players. And I think that could be something that BTK uses to their advantage. Maybe try to bait him into playing certain assassins. I think it could be a possibility. I think it could be a way that BTK gets a dub here, right? I think best player is going to want to, he's going to really want to play some assassins, and that's just the reality of the situation, I believe. There are 7 games here for teams to change up. They can even try some things, do player bans, target bans. There's a lot of ways to move around here. I think game 1 is going to probably be pretty simple. I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy. BTK almost took a game against the Ohio brothers in second season. That match they were very close to taking, but a lot of teams almost took games against the Ohio brothers, and the Ohio brothers were able to come back. I think this is something that shows how far ahead TOB really is. Comparative to other teams, I don't think there wasn't many other teams that fell behind, brought it down, were behind several K gold, stretched the game out to 20, 30 minutes, and then just were able to come back. We didn't see that a whole lot in the NACT this season. We saw it occasionally, but when any of the big teams, the big 3, I would like to say, the Ohio brothers, BTK, and Ackerman, the big 3, when any of the big 3 were involved, that didn't really happen that much, unless it was TOB. So, if you guys are just coming in, it's okay. Welcome, welcome. If you really want me to respond to something, I can't really. I'm recording this video as well. I'm going to go back and edit it and stuff. If you really want, I hate to say this, but if you really want me to respond to chat or something you guys say, you can always do a donation, but I'm trying not to read chat too much right now. I'm sorry if I'm missing any of your comments, but yeah, we're trying to really focus on this. Okay. Now, like I said, best player is going to be itching to play Assassin, but I will also say this. Joybaj is going to be on Great MS. Cho is going to be a good pick for him possibly. We know that Joybaj has been having some issues with his MS, so some things are there. If BTK can win game 1 here, if BTK can win game 1, and I know I've been saying this about them a lot, but I think if they can win game 1 against the Ohio Brothers, we are definitely in for a show, guys. I will tell you that much. If they win game 1, just know this is going to be hype. We are probably going to 7 matches if BTK wins game 1. I just think those possibilities are there. There are some definite things that TLB. Let's talk about some advantages for each team, right? TLB, I think the major advantage for them is going to be lack of stage fright. You have Basic, Hoon, Shark, Ureshi, who all have experience on the stage. Who am I missing? Best player is the only one who doesn't have experience on the stage, but when you're surrounded by 4 players that do, and knowing best player, being in VCs with best player, he seems kind of like the guy who feeds off that stuff. So I think once best player secures a kill, hears the crowd yell, best player is going to be funkin'. He kind of marks me as the kind of guy that like feeds off that. Kind of similar to me. When I'm casting and I hear the crowd yell and there's a big moment, it pumps me on even more. The nerves are gone. I'm ready to go. So I think that is a huge advantage for the Ohio Brothers, right? BTK, on the other hand, all they have is Zane with stage experience. You have Yato, you have T, Joybaj, Yato, T, Joybaj, and I'm having total mind blank here. Mage is Yato, Tank is, that's who I'm missing, Joybaj, EXP's T, Gold Lane is ISO. ISO, though, is easy peasy. None of these 4 players have any stage experience. So game 1 is also going to be a very hard game for them to win, I think. It's going to be their first time doing this. It's going to be their first time in front of lights, cameras, all that stuff. Their first time showing their face, some of these players. Yato, a lot of these players haven't even showed their face on Discord. Nobody even knows what they look like. Nobody even knows what they look like, which is kind of crazy. There's going to be a crowd in NA. Bro, you're tripping. Last time there was 120, 140 people, which isn't a lot, but it's people. It's people watching you play, yelling, things like that. So yeah, that will be happening. So that is definitely going to, I think, be a possible problem. If BTK can get past that, I think Zane really needs to be like the rally for his troops. He needs to be the commander that he needs to be and try to get these guys as pumped and as motivated as possible. So I think Joybaj had experience with Bren. What? I don't know. Maybe it's true. I think that's going to be the most important thing for Zane here is he needs to kind of play more. I know Zane is normally, he always comes off as more of the guy that like really like pushes his players to play good and kind of calls them out on their shit and this and that. I think this is a time when maybe Zane needs to be a bit more of like the nice guy coach trying to bring his players up. Because he's not with a bunch of guys like Chicken and Shark and like guys who like fucking do this and they're used to it and they can take it. So I think he really needs to come into this a bit more up. It's not going to be easy. This is a really big series. I do think that this is going to be the very first time in NACT history that we don't have a sweep in the grand finals. I think the possibilities for BTK to win this are no higher than 40%. I think that's where they sit at right about now. I think it's just I think TOB just has better odds. They have a bit more experience. You've got 4 monsters, guys that just got out of M3, and Zane's got 4 rookies essentially. It's Zane and 4 rookies. Great rookies, I might add. Great rookies, I might add. I've been saying it from the very beginning that Yato, T, Joybaj, I really like the team. I've known all of these players for a long time now. I think they're all really good. But I think that it's going to take a little bit more time for them. I think whoever ends up going, I think the same thing for Ackerman. If Ackerman goes, if they end up being in this spot, I think it's about the same. I think they have lower odds. If Ackerman ends up going in that spot, I think they're sitting at about 30% to win it. Like I said, I think BTK could pull it off. They could. But the Ohio brothers most likely ends up taking this championship. I think they end up getting the win here. I think the final score could be, 4-2. Like I said, if BTK can win game 1, I think we might see all 7. If BTK can win game 1, we might see all 7. If not, it's probably going to end up being 4-2, 4-1. The Ohio brothers right now, their synergy's on point. They have all the boxes checked. BTK needs to be ready if they want to go up against this. A lot of it's going to come down to how prepared they are, how much they've been playing, how much they've been practicing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. To where, honestly, I feel like TOB could practice less and still maybe take the dub here. But I know TOB is like practicing regularly. Now that they're Outplay officially, I know they have some sponsorship going on. They're expected to practice. Like, they now have someone hounding them to do things, and it's no longer just a game, right? So, in the end, the Ohio brothers, I think, end up getting the dub here. But again, I think it could go several different ways. All right, we're going to take a second to read some chat before we jump into MPL Grand Final predictions here. Ikel, a lot of good content in this stream for you, bro. Ikel, BTK will win if they target ban Hoon's heroes. Maybe. Like, what do you ban? The Farza, the Valentina, the Farza, the Valentina. You pick something for yourself. What else do you need to worry about with him? I think Hoon could definitely be a good target, honestly. That's actually really not a bad idea, targeting Hoon. If they keep on saying that Yureshi might not go. I don't know. People have been saying this in my chat, and I don't know if it's true or not. If that ends up being true, I think that percentage goes from 40 to 45. I think it's no longer a highest of 40. It's like a very solid 40, 45. Faramis, yeah. I think there's just a lot of mages for him to play for you to ban him out. And you let a lot of things through. But I do think they need to, at some point, they do need to do some target bans. I think best player is a good target. Kermito, if Zane wins with this new BTK, what do you think about that? I think it's good. I think it's dope. I think, like I've said from the very beginning, I think they are a strong team. I mean, if you go back to my power rankings of NACT, my top, it was literally Ohio Brothers, BTK, Ackerman. So a lot of people gave me trash for putting BTK at number 2 back before the season. They were like, they lost a game in qualifiers. How are you going to put them? Just because I kind of knew. Like I said, I knew these players. I knew what they had in them, and I knew that by the end of the season they were going to be a good team. So I think I think my worry is how they would do in MSC. I think it could be really good, because I've been saying I want new players to go. So having 4 new players go along with Zane overseas, they would come back and be monsters, right? They would come back and be really good. They do MSC, they do ISF, it'd be huge. Do I think they would do amazing over there? I don't know. I don't know if Yato, T, and some of those guys are completely ready for it. I think there's still a big lack of synergy. The Ohio brothers, I think they could go over there and do pretty amazing. I think they can match what Zane's been doing overseas and stuff, and what BTK in the past and what the Valley did. I think they could definitely secure top placing, depending. Like top 3, top 5 placing, right? I think as long as we stay in top 5, I'm very happy. As long as NA continues to stay in top 5 for the next year or so in these global events, I'm really happy. Because I feel like by M6, we're a nation that definitely contests. Like, bro, come M6, if our teams continue to do what they're doing when they go to these global events, making it in the top 5 and stuff, come M6, we possibly, we possibly secure like a number 3, number 2, number 1 spot. I think it's really possible, because I think by then, by M6 time, we have like 1, 2, maybe a few teams that are sponsored. Things are starting to get really well. It gets crazy, right? But I do think the Ohio brothers stand a little bit of a better chance on a global stage, just because of all the global experience on that team. I do think it would be cool to see Yato and T and some of those guys over there. I mean, it would be cool to see Akron. Like, let me make things clear, guys. I am a freaking North American caster. I've been doing this for the past 2 years. I would love to see a team like Ackerman also go to the world stage. Like, let's not for like I think like the predictions like these are so freaking hard for me, because I've known all these players so long, and it's not just like NAs and like corporations and all these big esports teams and da where you barely ever see the players in person or this or that. Like I've been hosting events for all these players and casting over all these players for so long now, when we didn't have nothing, when we didn't have a thing, and they made it through, and they're not getting paid for nothing. It would be dope to see any one of these guys over there. So like, it would always be happy, but I do think Ohio brothers are kind of our best bet. I do think that. If no Ureshi, I think T does pretty well. Ureshi versus T, I think Ureshi's the better EXP laner. T still makes a lot of rookie mistakes. T's mechanically good. He's good at what he does, but he still has rookie vibes. He still over pushes sometimes. Make plays that he shouldn't do. A little too aggressive here and there. Does dives that you're like, why are you diving right now? You're all alone. So I mean, his game sense is a little bit, his game IQ is a little lower than Ureshi. Ureshi's hero pool is wider. I just think Ureshi's definitely the better EXP laner. Right now, currently, with Chicken not here, Ureshi's the best EXP laner in NACT. Point blank, period. The man's a monster right now in the NACT. Nobody's gapping him. Nobody's gapping him. Chicken was the only one that could really, like, put him down. Now, last year, we did see Ureshi, even last year, Ureshi was a little rusty. He played in NASL Season 3 and stuff. And he was a little rusty, and, teams were beating him. But, this year, he's monstrous, man. Bro, his R-Lot, he picked up the Assassin emblem the other day. Holy crap. Um, You know, it would be great to see if Nicolette debut internationally. She will make history. She'll be the second female to do so after Ramella of IDNS. That would be dope. Best EXP on NA was Vic. Nah, bro. Chicken's better than Vic. I'm sorry to say. I think Chicken's better than Vic. That's just my personal opinion, and I people will debate me on this. People will say it, bro. I think Chicken's better than Vic, man. And there's no way to really tell. There's no way to really know. Vic fans. Listen, man. Chicken's a monster, bro. I wish Cardi would have kept playing. I wish he would have kept playing, expanded his hero pool, and really went all in because I think he could definitely be a monster. I think him and Chicken are also a little bit different in their play styles and things like that, so it's hard to compare them. And they're both amazing EXP laners. Like Victor was great. The problem is like there was a problem. Like you have to practice. You have to learn new heroes, right? And right now, Chicken is leagues above Vic. That's the thing. Chicken is leagues above him because Vic hasn't been doing anything. So there's the problem, right? Chicken was, in my opinion, the Valley's best player in M4. He... maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Zane was pretty good in M4. Hoon was good in M4. I would say Shark probably, if I had to like put a tier list of all 5 players, Shark would probably be on the lowest. Tahira, what's up? What's up? Bro, that M4 Shark's M4 Chow upset me, bro. Cause I know he plays a good Joe. Bro, how do you ban out Shark though? Here's the thing though, Big Floppa. No one's talking about banning out Shark. How do you ban out Shark? What do you ban? Shark has a Shark can play any tank in the game. You can't target ban a good tank. You can't really target ban a good tank, yo. Can't target ban a good tank. Especially in right now, it's meta. You also have like the Kajas, like there's just so many things that you can play, right? But yeah, Shark just had a rough Shark's M4 run was a little underwhelming, right? I don't know. From what I heard, I saw a clip the other day of like Basic jumping to VC like, yo, you didn't put me in the gold lane as like I think it was like UA, his dream team, and Basic like jumps into the VC and was like mad about it, and he was like, we tried that, and he was like hinting at like Zane wasn't performing well in the gold lane. I would argue it might have been the other way around. That Basic maybe couldn't perform well in the jungle. Honestly, what probably happened is they played like one game and they had a bad game and they were just like, no. Basic hasn't jungled in like a year and a half. And even back when he was jungling, it wasn't like all that. Like he used to jungle in the NASL and it wasn't all that. It would be basic on jungle. Exactly. Basic had no experience with tank jungle. And that's what I think was the real problem. I think Zane, like, no. If Zane wants to play gold, he could play gold. Let's not fucking cap here. Let's not bullshit here. Like, if Zane wants to play gold, he could play gold. Literally, his peak is marksman jungle. Like, his peak was, if Zane wants to play gold, he could. I think the problem is that Zane doesn't know if he trusts any other junglers. I think that's the real thing. It's like, does he trust that someone... But are you sure best player is better than Zane on tank jungle? I don't. I think Zane's the better tank jungle because I think Zane is a better retro game. ISO is easy peasy, yes. All right. Do we want to do, is it time for MPL PH, guys? MPL PH guesses? This is the one that's going to really give me get me in trouble, yo. This is the one that's really going to get me in trouble. Someone said get your Clippers get ready. Do I think Chicken can join RQ? Yeah, I think it's possible. All right. I don't think Omega's going to win this. We'll start with that. I think it is possible. I think there are some chances there. But Blacklist had a rough start of the season, but they bring in Owl in the gold lane. They have started to tighten things up. I think Omega probably loses this. These 4 games, though, like, are pretty hard, right? These 4 games are a little tough to call. These are all best of 5s as well, right? Oh, shit. I don't know if it's going to be a 4-0. Oh, versus Omega in Season 11 so far. I think, or no, someone said 4-0. I think this, I don't know if it's going to be a 3-0. I think Omega definitely gives a fight. But I do think that gold lane is going to be important, right? You think Kelrick can't win 1v1 with Owl? I don't know. I don't know. Is Owl that good? I haven't seen enough of his games, but let's do a quick intro. Let's do a quick intro because we're going to press record here in a second. Feel free to say hi to the VOD. Hi, VOD viewers. All right, guys. Now we're going to be doing the MPL PH playoffs predictions. Remember? You guys, I actually already started this before I started recording this. I've already said that Blacklist beats Omega, but we're going to touch back up on that in just a second. Remember, this is just my opinion, guys. I have not watched every single game of the whole season. I stayed pretty in touch with it. I followed a lot of games. I watched a lot of them. But again, I'm just a dumb American who doesn't live in the Philippines. And maybe my opinion doesn't matter at all. But I like to think I have a pretty good grasp on things. I already know I'm going to have a few hot takes in this. If you guys agree with me, if you disagree, it is totally okay. Feel free to leave a comment. Just don't be rude. I'm just I'm just having fun. I just want to do some predictions on my live, so let's run it. Like I said, I think Blacklist ends up beating Omega here. I think it's really going to come down. I think gold laners are going to be really important. Blacklist had a really rough start of season when they had Super Red, and since they switched to Owl, they've definitely done better. I also feel like the rest of the team is getting their grips on things, but still, I think there's a couple issues that they still kind of have. I think Venus's hero pool in the current meta is starting to become an issue, and I think it's what's going to cause them issues as we move farther into this bracket. But I think in this, Blacklist will come out on top. Don't get me wrong. I think there's probably about a 40% chance, maybe a little less, like 35, 40% chance Omega could end up winning. But I think Blacklist ends up winning. RSG Slate PH versus MPL Philippines. Now, last week or two of MPL PH, MPL Philippines definitely has stepped up their game. Even towards the end, they really stepped up their game. I think they look good. They look strong. And I think a lot of people put them over RSG Slate possibly. I think there are definitely going to be some predictions of people thinking that Onyx takes RSG. Since I first started doing watch parties of MPL PH, a lot of people have put some hate on RSG, thinking that just because Demon Kite and Aqua are gone, that their team is no good anymore. I kind of think different. I think when they get to playoffs, they're going to put on they're going to strap on their boots and march on in, and I think that they're going to take the dub here. Don't get me wrong, it kind of feels 50-50. I'm not going to lie. So maybe this is I'm going to be honest, maybe this is a little bit of bias for me. Maybe it's a little bit of bias for me, but I think RSG is going to have a good run. I think RSG is going to have a good run in this playoffs. I'm just going to state that now, so be prepared, guys. I think RSG takes this 3-2. I think it definitely goes 5 games. I think it's going to be heated. I think it's going to be epic, and I'm very excited to watch it. Okay. Bren Esports versus Blacklist. Bren Esports are monsters right now. Let's just be point blank simple, point blank period. Let's just make things easy. I think Blacklist lose this. I think Blacklist do have some opportunities in this bracket, but I think Blacklist loses this game. I think Bren, they're a tough team to beat right now, and I think when it comes to playoffs, they're going to be even tougher. I think they come out on top in this one. Maybe even like a strong sweep. Like I said, I feel like Blacklist right now is dealing with some identity issues in a sense of we've lost some of our members. Yes, they have made it to playoffs. They've done well. They secure the number 2? Having a total mind blank. They secure the number 3 spot in season, and they have kind of picked up the pieces, but everyone that they're going against it from this point on is not playing around. And I don't know if, unless they do some crazy switch up and Venus starts playing some things a little bit different, I don't know if the Ube is really going to cut it in this playoffs bracket. I don't know if it's going to happen. Bren takes this. And like I said, I think it could end up being like a hard sweep. I think it could end up being like a 3-0, 3-1, something like that. Blacklist goes down to the lower side. Echo. Also, monsters. Echo are monsters. Let's be real here. They've taken some weird losses. They even took a loss to RSG secures a win against them towards the end there. They take a 2-0 loss or whatever to RSG early on in the season, right? Blacklist also took a 2-0 loss to RSG early season. But Echo still, I think the thing about Echo is that they are explosive, right? And even though they have some weird games. They're also a team that similar to like BTK, almost like if they get into a groove, if Echo wins game 1, they're just going to start moving. They find their groove, they find the way that they need to play against you, and they're going to annihilate. And that's exactly what they did to Blacklist, right, in M4. So I do think Echo wins this. Maybe RSG takes a game. It is possible, but I think Echo definitely dominates here. What's going on? What did I do? Oh, no. There we go. There we go. All right. RSG loses. Goes down to the lower. Okay, guys. Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? This is my hot take. This is my hot take of the playoffs. This is the prediction that everyone's going to get mad at me about. I think RSG beats Blacklist International in the lower bracket. I'm not scared to say it. I fear no one anymore. I just have this feeling, man. I think RSG may end up beating Blacklist in the lower bracket here. I don't know why. And again, it's literally not like there is nothing in what I'm stating based on that much. I think both teams are really good, and it could go either way. A lot of people are going to say Blacklist is just going to dominate, whatever. People are going to, it's a team that you're cheering for. They're just like, no, my team's going to win. Even if they're, and it doesn't matter if the team ends up winning or losing, whenever. They're always going to say their team's going to win, whatever. I think here, like I said, I think RSG is going to come in. They've gotten wins against Echo before. They've gotten wins against Blacklist before. They're a team that knows what they need to do. Sometimes they play very sloppy. Light had some very sloppy games. Towards the end there. But I do think they can pull it off. I think as long as Coach Panda drafts well, things like that, I think they can do it. I think they can get the win here. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it could definitely go be 3-2, something of that nature. But I think RSG ends up winning this. After that, Bren versus Echo. Here's the thing about Bren right now. I think Bren are just really tight. Bren are like really tight. Bren's like just feels... Bren feels very powerful, just like Echo, but they don't feel as like explosive and as crazy as Echo sometimes, as volatile as Echo is. And for that, I think Bren may end up winning here. I think Bren has a lot of cards up their sleeves when it comes to draft, when it comes to macro, and just a lot of things. Echo, I think, has really good decision-making in-game. I think Echo really shine in-game, in the midst of things, late game. Early game is also very good, like first turtle, very good. But I think the steadiness of Bren will end up prevailing here in this. So I do think Bren is going to take the W. I think it could go all the way, but it could also end up just being like a 3-1. Like if Bren wins game 1 and then just wins game 2, it could be real bad. Echo. All right, guys, I got another crazy hot take for you. This one's going to get everyone pissed. I'm just kidding. I don't think RSG beats Echo here. I think just RSG getting to third place is a huge statement, and this is where I think they're gonna fall. I think RSG makes a good run, but I don't think they beat Echo here, right? I don't think they beat Echo here. Like I said, I think RSG plays well, has the ability to be blacklist, but I think Echo in this spot is going to be playing just like they were at M4. They're going to be playing their hearts out. They're going to be monsters, and they're going to be aiming for that revenge match against Bren Esports, and they are definitely going to get it. This could honestly end up being like a 3-0 sweep. This could just be a complete domination match by Echo. Towards the end, Bren versus Echo. Bren versus Echo, guys. Now, Echo sent down the lower bracket. Now they know they need to tighten things up a little bit. They need to pull out some cards. They need to draft a little bit different. They need to try some different things and keep things interesting. And I do think they are going to come into this. Bren is going to really push their limits. But I think Echo is going to take this. And I'm not just saying that because of my jacket right there. I think Echo just right now, they're a team. They get out of M3. They keep all the same roster. I think they're definitely monsters right now. I think during season they had some hiccups here and there, but I think when it comes to playoffs, they're going to be in there. And after M4, I don't feel like I want to doubt them right now. I think this could be an amazing year for Echo. I think they could go. I think they could take this. I think they could go and possibly win MSC. I think after that they could possibly come back and win another season of MPL if they keep their roster together. They keep the same coach and they keep doing what they're doing. I think they could have a great run this year. So I do think they end up beating Bren. I don't know. I think we could get a full 7 here, but maybe 4-2. Something like that. They could do. I mean, we thought the M4 game against Blacklist was going to be crazy, but they just mollywopped Blacklist. I don't think they're going to do that to Bren. Bren just feels a little bit. I feel like once you kind of break, I hate to say this, once you kind of break the code of Blacklist, you can kind of do that to them, right? But Bren, on the other hand, they're going to try different things throughout that best of 7. They're going to get all kinds of crazy. Echo's going to have to try to do the same thing and bounce back. Of course, I do think this could end up being a 50-50. Either team could take it, but I think in the end, Echo comes out on top. So, yeah. If you guys like the video, make sure to hit a like and subscribe button. Thank you so much. That is it. Remember, be kind. These are just my opinion. They don't really mean anything. Just a guy trying to have some fun. Thank you guys for watching. All right, we stopped the recording. We'll now come back to the chat. Thank you guys. It seems like a lot of people are watching, man. It's crazy. I honestly didn't expect to have so many viewers while I was doing this. I hope everyone enjoyed it. To all the guys who have I haven't really been talking to chat that much. I hope you guys haven't enjoyed the videos. Do you guys like content like this? If you do, I'll gladly do more, stuff like that. Agents will come after me if Black beats RSG. Well, possibly. Ritz, hi, Spirited Away, what's up? Big Floppa, you. It's us, my Myanmar. Azik Faraz, John Linden, Shiro, you, I see you, Rarin, all you guys, what's up, what's up, what's up? What do you mean you're a caster? They'd love to hear you talk. You're right. That's literally it, huh? What cosplay are you going to do, Ritz? I heard you're coming with a new cosplay for NACT. Spill the deets. You think Echo will get the upper bracket match and Brent takes a dub? It's possible. I will cosplay as Assassin Dave. Lol. That's funny. Oh, shit. I forgot I'm still sharing that screen. Let's move this over here. I'm sharing my whole monitor. Spirited Away, are you coming? Are you going to NACT Grand Finals? Bro, it's almost here. I just got the weekend approved. Like they've known I've wanted it off at work, but I had to like keep. I've told her like 2 months ago, my one of my GMs, but she was like, just keep reminding me, and then when we get to, because they do schedule 2 weeks out, so I like stepped to her today and I was like, all right, reminding you for the final time, what's up? And they were like, what are you doing on Mother's Day? And I was like, I have a big tournament to go to in Vegas or whatever to cast. And they were like, on Mother's Day? Because that's like our last hoorah in the restaurant industry before season gets really slow for the next few months, at least here in downtown. So like they really kind of need everyone on board. And if I wasn't such a great worker that they loved and adored, they probably wouldn't let anyone else do this. But they also know I'm not like going to screw around. Like I'm not just like asking for it off for a random vacation. Like they know I'm working and doing something. But she was like, why are they were like, they're going to throw a tournament on Mother's Day? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Who the F scheduled the NACT finals on Mother's Day? I know. They really, it's like something that they really kind of slack on, you know, they mess up on here and there. Back in the very first NACT that I hosted, guys, back when I was hosting the NACTs and Dave wasn't around for a few months, the Christmas one, they wanted the top 8 to be like during Christmas, you know, and I was like they're like, all right, so we're thinking like the 20th to the 28th, and I was like, what? I was like, no way, guys. I was like, no. Yeah. I think it's the difference of like America and Asia. You know, like our holidays are much like, I don't know. We have a lot of little weird holidays too. What do you think about OP chances in their if OP makes it, I think they do pretty good. I think they do pretty good. I just hope we get top 5 again. If we can secure top 5, I'm very happy. I just hope we don't get knocked out in the group stage, yo. Because MSC is a little different. There's no lower bracket spot. Like there's no like, because the lowest scoring team gets booted out in MSC, right? So it's a little bit different. And I'm just hoping we make it to the bracket. That's the major thing. Just make it to the bracket, yo. Don't pull a don't pull a M4 and get all wanky in group stage. If TOB gets PH and Indo team in group stage, there's going to be one more team. So we just have to get above the other team. Honestly, let's take a look at something, guys. Let's take a look at something, all right? Let's take a look at Liquipedia real fast. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams. That's it? Only 12? No, there's more than 12 because there's 2 from each of these, right? So if we look at all the regions, okay. 2 PH. No, there's only 12 teams. Only 12 teams. I think I don't think we need to really stress about Malaysia. Mekong, MENA, Turkey, Cambodia, Singapore. I think a lot of these regions we don't need to stress too much about. Regions that we could have problems with. ID, PH. I think even Malaysia could be a problem. Myanmar. Yeah. Those 4 regions. MENA's kind of like, I think Turkey. Turkey was Incendio, right? Who was it that made it to 5th? It was Turkey, right? Incendio had the run that made it to 6th and 7th spot in M4? Or was it, it wasn't Occupy Thrones, right? It was Incendio Supremacy. That's sad. So yeah, I think like you never. I think if it's anything similar to what's it called, then we know that you're not going to get two ID teams in the same group or 2 PH teams in the same group, right? If it's anything similar to how M4 was ran, a group has to be a little bit. Groups have to. So these 4 teams will all be on separate groups. I mean, no matter what you get, at least one of these teams, right? Hopefully they all get split up. Damn, that's so crazy that Evos made it to 2nd. Just looking at that, it's like, damn, that's crazy. What a way they've come, huh? I think Onyx is a problem. Evos can be a problem, but maybe we can go up against them. Either of the PH teams could be major problems. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna definitely be interesting. They can get grouped with 1 PH, 1 ID, 1 Myanmar. Bro, that's a group right there. Like imagine we get Onyx, Bren, and Phoenix or something. I think group stage is like, and I worry that group stage will be kind of our hiccup spot again. Chris Dave, what's up? Having a three small bottle of Red Horse beer. Best NA cast for me is none other than Trex. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Oh, what time is it? 12:03. Well, Chris, you're a little bit late, bro. You're a little bit late. How did everyone like doing the predictions today? Was it good stuff? Did we enjoy it? I think we make it a bracket, bro. I think we make it to bracket. It's Jackal time. Oh. I think best player probably just needs to Malaysia? Yes, I said Malaysia could be a problem. Bro, they beat us in group stage last time. Malaysia is weird to go against in best of ones. Yes, I know what that means, Big Floppa. Bro, Malaysia beat us in group. I'm just in group stage, bro. Malaysia's weird to go against. Point blank and simple, bro. That's exactly like you just said it. They're very unpredictable and volatile, and like in a best of one, it can be weird. And that's exactly why I could say they could beat us in group stage. Like, it could happen. Could definitely happen. I think we'll be a bit more. I think if TLB goes, if Outplay goes, we'll be a bit more prepared. They have 4 PH imports. That's nuts. We'll see. We'll see. Nothing's definite. Sheesh. Brazil playoffs are about to happen too. Bigatron ended up securing the number 2 spot. Ad time. Bro, there's a create highlight video now. What does this do? Thoughts on MPL China? I think they'll be a good region. I just wonder, my thing is this, like, I wonder, like, do we think, they are going to, like, how fast do we think they're actually going to have an MPL, and how fast will they get competitive? Because they have Honor of Kings already, right? They have other games that they're already playing. I do think that it releasing in China is huge. Like, it's huge for Mobile Legends, which means it's also good for all of us. It's a huge market to tap into. Millions and millions of people there. A lot of them are, so the esports scene is huge over there. I think it's very good for everyone involved in Mobile Legends, from players to casters to Moonton executives, everybody. It's very good. It increases the possibilities, right? And also, if Moonton is doing good and they are raising things up, then that means they're willing to put more into stuff, and other people are also doing good, right? More income for them means more income into tournaments and for everything else, right? So I think it's a very good thing. Do I think they're gonna have like an MPL next year? Probably not. I don't know. It depends on how fast people end up picking it up, how quick. If they want one, let's put it this way. If the player base wants one, they will probably get one. If that is something that players, they really take to it, they really want to play Mobile Legends, et cetera, they will probably have one. If there isn't one in the next year or two, it means it's not trending as well as everyone thought, probably. What's Natus Vincier? I don't know Natus Vincier. Navi? Do you mean Navi? Is that what Navi is? Natus Vincier? Do I think CIS will be back? Is that what you're saying? The CIS region? I don't think CIS is. I don't know if CIS is going to come back. Not going to lie. They're still, bro. Russia's like still having all that stuff going on with Ukraine and stuff. So, like, I don't think they'll be involved in anything for a little while. I don't think so. I don't know. That's up for debate, right? Blacklist era is done. So sad. I mean, it's not done. Blacklist will always be a good team and well known. And I think, in like this, what last season, they bombed last year season, not last season, but last year, the spring season, season 9, right? This is season 11. Last season 9, they had similar issues this time. They had some rookies on the team. Two players were taking breaks, et cetera, et cetera. They were going through some growing pains, and they bombed out. This season they did good. Like, they did good even with all the changes. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the end of an era. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for them still. I don't think they're going to make it to MSC. I can say that. Reyes, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Whew. I'm feeling it now. I talked a lot during those predictions. Bro, the new chapter of One Piece. Sheesh. Sheesh. New chapter Jujutsu Kaisen? Sheesh. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but sheesh. Holy shit. Jujutsu Kaisen has just been punching me around like a punching bag, bro. You're collabing with some of the casters for something big? PH casters? Or you know, you want to throw an NA caster in there? Whatever. I don't know if this is you asking me or if you're just telling me to make me feel bad because I wasn't invited to the party or what. But yeah, it's cool. Playoffs start this weekend. I'll be casting this Sunday. Azel Guevara. I have started analyzing some games from MPL PH. During the playoffs, I think me and Mirko are actually doing a watch party together on the 4th for day 1 of playoffs. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Me and Mirko will finally be doing a little collab. A second installment. What do you mean by that? And I'll be analyzing a lot of the playoffs games. It's hard to watch 4 a.m. in PH time. I do my best. Sometimes I only watch the first series and I pass out, things like that. But I do my best, guys. And what I do a lot is like the day after or something, earlier in the day, I'll watch the games from the night before. But that is like if I'm not doing something like what I'm doing now, I'm normally just watching games. I don't really play. People don't really like watching me play Mobile Legends, so I kind of stopped streaming me playing. It's more stuff like this, me watching pro games, things like that. I will say that since I'm not going to be casting at MSC, I'm going to be doing quick announcement or quick hint, teaser, guys. I'll be doing a tournament this summer. I think I'm going to host a tournament this summer. So stay tuned in for information, all that. So yeah, we'll release more information on it. Just trying to coin a good name and a good promo for it. But I'll be doing some sort of tournament this summer. Probably around, what is it? January, February, March, April. probably like July time. Around July, I'll be doing something. Like between each season. So July, I'll probably be doing like a week tournament or something like that with a lot of the big teams. So stay tuned. Probably something around like $1,000, $2,000 prize pool, something like that. We'll see. Lilo's Papa, what's up? So yeah. Coach Deku or Dave, pick one. For what? Just in life general? Life in general? Who have you pick as your partner? Trex, Deku? Who do you pick as your partner? Trex, Deku, or Dave? As like my casting partner? They're both. I would love to cast with you. Deku has gotten to a point where I feel very comfortable casting with him. It's been a pleasure casting this season with him. He catches my jokes. He feeds jokes back. Last time I casted with Dave, it was also a lot of fun. We haven't had, like, me and Dave never really got to cast that much together, but Dave's a great caster, man. But right now, I mean, I gotta go with Deku, right? That's my road dog right now. But yeah, like, who would I rather be in a roommate with? Probably Dave. I don't know, maybe Dave right now. Me and Dave had a lot of fun being roommates. Like, I've known Dave a bit longer, so like, if we're just saying Dave or Deku, no, nothing else, maybe Dave. A game show. That's cool, Ray. But I think after this NACT, you know, like, I'm going to finally meet Deku in person. Dave is he's a bit more, me and Dave have known each other a bit longer. We've met in person a few times. We lived in a room together for 2 weeks. So, like, you know, me and Deku are still building a relationship. Me and Deku have gotten really close, though, this season. It's been really nice, and it's been fun. Nope, no NA casters in MSC, guys. I don't think so. We sent our resumes out, but they said that most likely that they're not going to pick any NA casters. So it's all right. I have some other gigs that might be lining up during the summer, so it's all good. It's no biggie, guys. It's like I said, man, we're expensive. You have to pay for a plane ticket and then pay on top of that. It's just a lot. I understand when they can get the same thing from. That's why we got to build my page up. I think if we get big enough, you know, we go to M5, we continue to do this, they're gonna want me because the people will want me. You know. Does Coach Deku make content? No, not currently. Burnix Flash, back-to-back champion. SG Singapore, RSG Singapore, back-to-back-to-back champions. I've had this thought, though, guys. And I think a lot of people are going to kind of dog me for saying this, but, like, bro, RSG Singapore. I hope Jays isn't here. RSG Singapore. They came in last place in M4. And they've been winning back-to-back-to-back, bro. What's going on in that MPL? Like, I can understand some of the other regions, like, you know, they win, like, a team wins, and then another team wins, and, like, different teams don't do it. But, like, RSG Slate, like, dominates in their region. Like, they dominate. Like, they're just destroying everybody. And then they get to the global stage, and they just get whomped. They didn't win a single game at M4, not in group stage and not on the lower bracket. So I'm just, like, wondering, what is going on over there? What is everyone doing over there? That's what I'm confused about. I almost want to watch some of their games. I haven't really ever watched their games like that. So I'm just wondering. I don't know. NA casters are more expensive because the plane ticket, yo. Like, you have to think about this. For them to fly someone from the Philippines or anyone in Southeast Asia over, it's like me flying to Vegas. It's a couple $100 for the ticket. For me to fly overseas to Southeast Asia, the cheapest is like $1,800. $1,800. So $1,800. That could be close to what they're paying a caster for the week of casting for MSC. Let's just say that. Maybe a bit less. I don't know what they pay everybody. But I'm just saying, like, it would be like just the ticket alone is close to what they would pay some of the casters, right? So, like, flying me over there, they're going to pay for the ticket, pay for my room and board, pay for all of that, and pay me on top of that. My price tag is just a lot bigger just because of the plane ticket. I'm sure if I lived overseas, I would be in more events. I think I'm a good caster. I think I'm good enough to cast with all the big dogs. I think if I what do I think about the casting in NA, your co-casters compared to other regions? I think we're a really good broadcast. I think our hosts need a little bit of work. I think Xena and Liz need a little bit of work, but I think Xena has gotten much better. I think Liz has gotten much better. They both got more comfortable. They're not as nervous. They're able to just fill, which is something that you have to be able to do because sometimes technical issues happen. Sometimes you got the dude in your ear and he's like, you guys need to talk for 5 minutes. Give us 5 minutes. So I think they've got much better. But overall, out of our 6 casters, I really like our broadcast. I think we're really good. I think we're really good. I think we're, I don't know. My opinion differs than some other people. Like, a lot of people think, like, the Indo broadcast, the Indo English desk is the best. But I think all of them just really love Mirko. And, like, I think Mirko's a god. But personally, when it comes to, like, all well-rounded, I really like the PH broadcast, their English desk. I think the only thing they're really lacking is a play-by-play like Mirko. I think that's the only thing they're really lacking. But I think when it comes to, like anchor and analysis, like, and the thing is PH has decent play-by-plays. They just don't have anyone that brings, like, the energy like Mirko does, or I think like I do. They don't have anyone with that style. Because there's different styles, right? Like Naisu's a great play-by-play, but his style isn't aggressive and crazy and holy shit. Like, it's just, I think NA, so, like, I don't know, I think we're up there with them. I think we're up there with both of those broadcasts. I think if we were in person every single day, too, like if we were like them where we were in person every day, we'd, bro. But yeah, I think this Steph Wheezy, Eunice, Private Ben, me, Deku, I think we're killing it. I think we're doing great. I'm very proud of how far our desk has come. Faktia Chong, yo! OP Rena, hello, hello. Satria Vekas, how's it going? How's it going? I speak Tagalog and English as Lilo's mama is Filipino. Quite frankly, they are hilarious and is so entertaining to listen to every game. Who's hilarious and are so entertaining to listen to every game? Who is it? There we go. I'm sorry. I'm referring to Filipino MPL Tagalog cast. Yeah, I think the Tagalog cast is. I mean, I think they're probably really good. I don't understand them, so I don't really know. But honestly, I think they're kind of like if we talk about Tagalog, I think they're probably like maybe even better than the Indonesian Bahaja cast. I don't know. Samsung or iPhone for ML gaming? I don't know. I always use the iPhone, so. That's the thing about, that's the thing I think about, good broadcast, too, at least for esports. Like, you need to be able to improv. That's what I've been trying to kind of tell Xena and be like, listen, you got to be able to just improv sometimes and fill in and do it and be able to just flow. And when a wrench gets thrown in the production, you need to be able to just run off of it. And if someone says something, you need to be able to toss back at it and maybe throw a joke back at it and things like that. How can you tell if they're better if you don't understand something more? Because the Philippines, you have people managing fields, and the Filipino broadcast has just been around for a long time, And I can still hear them. Indonesian brings that energy too. But I'm just saying, just off a feeling, I just feel again, I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But you can still when you hear it, when you listen to them talk. I've been working on my improv by watching Whose Line Is It Anyways? Hell yeah. Cambodia cast is the best. No one even comes close. You know whose cast sounds dope in the language? Middle East. They're like, they sound like they just chain smoked a pack of cigarettes and they're just like, bro, grimy. So grimy. I love it. Oh, all right, guys. I think we're going to call it here in a second. We almost did 2 hours. We got some good content, two prediction videos. We got to drop those before. I'll probably drop those as solo videos before this weekend. If I had one piece of feedback for NA casting, it's that they take the game so dang seriously. The players bring enough drama. We need some comedic relief. That's something that this season I've been trying to work on a lot personally. I hope that you get that vibe from me and Deku when we cast. We try to bring in a lot of jokes, and anytime I cast, I'm trying to bring in jokes and comedic relief here and there. When big things are happening, of course, I'm yelling and I'm like, oh, shit, da, 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 da. But I think all around, that's been a major point for me this year of trying to improve. Will next NACT be more competitive? Of course it will. I really hope that next NACT they swap around casters. They're trying to keep us in these duos, and I think it would. I mean, I get it. They're trying to make everyone improve and get really good at what they're doing. But I really think it would be important for the casters to swap around, man. I think it would be healthy for everyone to get different vibes and be like, oh wait, this is a thing too. Casters act, because also if you cast with one person the whole time, you can get into an idea that this is the only way to cast. This is the only way to do things. Bro, I think I'm an epic right now, Chris Dave. I've played like 3 games this season, bro. Don't ask that question. Why people focus on it? Yeah, bro. But we all know PH and ID have drama too. Come on. Players cheating on their girlfriends and stuff. If I don't play it all this season, I might drop down to Grandmaster or some insanity, bro. You know why? Because I'd rather sit here and chat with you guys about Mobile Legends than play. All right, guys. You guys keep holding me in. I got to go. We're calling it. It's almost 12:30 a.m. I got work tomorrow. It was a lot of fun tonight. Thank you all so much for joining. We did really good viewers for doing a prediction video, so it was a blast. Yeah, if you guys just came in, you came late. Sorry. I'm gonna post the predictions that I did as solo videos before this Friday. So yeah. Whenever I post them, make sure you guys go watch them. Watch them again. Like them. Comment. All that good stuff. Go like that new reel I just dropped. That new short I just dropped of my cool background. Batman. I'm Batman. Good night, guys. Have a great night, guys. Love y'all. See you later.